Andy, benvenuti a tutti al nostro secondo Digital Economy Forum. I'm not going to speak in Italian, I'm going to speak in English, although I like Italian, you know, it's a very nice language. But, you know, the language of this world, the digital world, is really English, and that's why I will speak in English. You know, this is the second conference we've done here in Venice. The first one we did last year, same place, and this year we're doing it again. We've also this year had conferences in Sardinia, in Florence, and also in Milan prior to this one. And it's interesting how much more buzz. I'll say something more about that a little bit later. There has been, since we've started this effort. As Sandy said, it's a kind of a unique thing to do for an embassy. But I think this digital initiative is so important for the young people of the world, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, but for Italy. Because all over Europe, the energy around the internet and digital, the effect of digital enterprise is taking place, and it's very important that we help and encourage this kind of development here in Italy. I'd like to thank President Barata and his staff here at the Biennale for hosting us again this year. And you know, I see a lot of friends from last year, and it's great to see you back here again, and some of them have been sponsors, and I just want to acknowledge for a moment how helpful and useful and how much appreciated it is, how much I appreciate getting this this kind of support from our sponsor friends. Also, although he's on his way, I don't think he's quite shown up yet. Minister Corrado Passera, who's the Minister of Economic Development in the new Monti government. Is a friend. He is a very important member of and contributor to the growth agenda here in Italy, trying to find new ways to inspire growth. He believes wholeheartedly that the digital agenda, if you will, is essential, or one of the essential routes up the road of new growth here in Italy. And he very much, you know, made a commitment and wants to, and will be here to say a few words about that. One of the things that I sort of alluded to, but you know, since we started this last year and this year, the difference is, and I want to say also the contribution to the buzz about digitale here in Italy should be, the Monti government should be recognized for its belief in this, because not only Minister Passera, but also Minister Profumo, who's the Education Secretary, is trying to bring, you know, the digital world into education, smart cities, all those kinds of things, and it's really a new world here. So it's a very interesting, exciting times. A lot of work to be done. You know, in the U.S., no doubt that much of the current and future strength of our economy will depend on the growth and innovation stemming from digital technologies. These technologies go beyond the business world and penetrate deeply into American culture, diplomacy, entertainment, and culture. Today's conference is focused on how the strategic use of online content can help companies expand their markets. But I've decided to leave the online content discussion for our expert speakers, many of whom are less than half my age. And I can't decide whether I'm getting older or they're getting much younger, and I think it's a little of both. But it leads me to a more important point, which is, and that is investing in young people. Many of the founders of some of the great tech companies launched their businesses at quite a young age. Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard were 27 and 28 years old when they founded Hewlett-Packard in a one-car garage. I don't know what it is about these California garages, but they've certainly started a lot of companies. I think Italians really need to make sure they have a garage in their house. Steve Wozniak was 27 when he quit HP to co-found Apple with Steve Jobs, who was then only 21, as you know, also in their garage. Airbnb was co-founded by a 28-year-old Brian Chesky, and I'm sure you've heard of a small but valuable company called Instagram. Its co-founders are in their 20s. And here in Italy, Venere, Hughes, Dada, and Vitaminic all had founders in their 20s and 30s. And just to give a nod to, just an important startup activity here in Italy, Glance, that was recently bought by Facebook. Those founders came out of, or at least one of them did, came out of Politecnico up in Turin, and Minister Passera, actually, when he called me to say that he couldn't be here, wanted acknowledgement because he was the head of the Politecnico University. Wanted to just say that this was a real great Italian success story for a young Italian entrepreneur. The young tend to be less constrained by norms and traditional ways of doing things. Lack of experience can translate into more flexible thinking and openness to different ideas, skills necessary to innovation. This is not to say that the older entrepreneurs aren't also an asset to any economy. A study from Singularity University in Silicon Valley revealed twice as many entrepreneurs now are over 50 as they are under 25. But there's one thing these older entrepreneurs have in common. When they were younger, they worked at companies that let them gain valuable experience to take on responsibility and create networks of contacts, all elements that have helped them eventually launch successful startups. Or some entrepreneurs even, like Mark Pincus, the founder of Zynga, started and launched startups in their 20s. Zynga, however, is Pincus's third startup, and without a doubt his most successful, built upon the experience he had in his youth. In the U.S., as in Italy, young people currently face record unemployment. So earlier this year, the White House announced a public-private partnership to provide work experience and job opportunities for low-income and disadvantaged youth. Ciao. Minister Passera has arrived, and I'll call on you in just a moment. The goal is to provide 100,000 paid jobs and internships for young people this summer. As part of this partnership, the Department of Labor will be launching a Summer Jobs Bank, an online tool to connect youth to summer jobs, internships, and mentoring programs in this area. This search tool is being created in collaboration with Google, internships.com, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Several companies have already announced their commitments to this program. Bank of America is supporting 1,500 paid internships. Gap, a popular clothing store, is helping 80,000 young people find work experience. Starbucks Coffee will provide hands-on experience for 5,000 and place another 20,000 youths in organizations to obtain job skills. Also, several U.S. government agencies are offering young people tens of thousands of work opportunities, ranging from agriculture to healthcare to natural resources management. Working together, the public and private sector are trying to ensure young people get the valuable work experience that they and our economy need. These types of opportunities are crucial for helping young people develop practical skills and create networks of contacts that will prove useful to their careers. Networking these days often takes place via social media, and these contacts developed through working colleagues remain invaluable. In just a moment, just a note about networking. One of the things that came out of last year, which seemed to be the most appreciated aspect of the conference, beside the obvious, was the opportunity that our young Italian entrepreneurs had to network. It's not that easy to do here in Italy. There's not that many forums and occasions for them to be able to interact, exchange business plans, exchange business cards, share ideas, and just meet each other, to stay in touch as you get in a conference like this. And I just want to encourage you all, speakers and attendees, to get together in the forums, the coffees, the lunches and things like that, that are time that's made available for networking interaction, to do just that. It means a lot to the development of a successful ecosystem here in Italy. Networking, sorry. As the father of 2 kids in their 20s who are confronting the reality of finding jobs, I know all too well how important it is to give youth a chance to prove themselves, to gain experience, to understand what they want to do, and just as importantly, what they don't want to do. Without these chances, it is difficult to gain real experience and to nurture a sense of discovery. Internships and summer employment give kids and college students a sense of achievement in the real world. Young people are an asset. Unemployed youth represent missed opportunities. In order to learn and grow, they need to be invested in and to be allowed to take risks, and sometimes also to fail. They need mentorship. The corollaries to investing in youth are creating meritocracy and increased flexibility in the labor market. These take time, but without them, the young will always be disadvantaged. We can't afford not to invest in our youth and in our futures. So I encourage all of you to take advantage of these next 2 days to develop your networks and your opportunities, both in Italy and the United States, depend on skills and enterprise of people like you. Now, I'd like to introduce Minister Passera, who has taken time from his incredibly busy agenda and work schedule. He has been an essential part of this new government, new Monti government, in trying to establish a growth agenda here in Italy. His initiatives always include a discussion of the digital agenda and the importance of the digital agenda. We're delighted, and I'm delighted in particular, that he could take the time to come and see us and to be present at a conference like this. His background was he's head of Impresa San Paolo, and before that Post Italia, a lot of experience as an entrepreneur or a type of entrepreneur, business leader, and we're just delighted to have you here. So, Minister Passera.